6, a demonstration and a display. The school days fairies were so shocked that they couldn't speak, but Queen Titania stepped forward. "Why are you here, Jack Frost?" she asked in her gentle voice. "You have caused a lot of trouble for the school days fairies this week. I hope you have not come to make more mischief." Jack Frost jerked his thumb over his shoulder at the goblins. "These lot are so ungrateful," he complained. "I've been trying to teach them all about me and how great I am, but they just don't want to listen." "The fairy school has trampolines," piped up one brave goblin. "We want to play with all this stuff," added another, waving his arm at the gym equipment. The school days fairies smiled at them. "You're all very welcome," said Kathryn. "We love finding new pupils." The goblins jumped up and down in excitement and rushed forward to join the gymnastics class. Soon they were jumping on trampolines and leapfrogging over vaulting horses. Kathryn was a good teacher, and she made sure they all behaved well and took turns. "Look," Rachel exclaimed, "I think Jack Frost wants to join in." The Ice Lord had been edging closer to the gym equipment. Suddenly he threw off his cloak and did 10 somersaults across the mats without stopping. The fairies burst into applause, and Jack Frost grinned and bowed several times. Kathryn came over to the girls, smiling. "I think Jack Frost is finding out that school can be fun," she said, her eyes sparkling. "Thank you for bringing us here," said Kirsty. "It's been wonderful to see you again," said Lydia, joining them. Marissa and Allison came over too, and they all shared a big hug. "Thank you again for everything you've done," said Kathryn. "We have to send you back to the human world now, but I hope we'll see you again soon." The fairies waved goodbye. Then, in a flurry of sparkles, the girls found themselves back on the school field beside the cones. Mr. Beaker and Mrs. Best were still talking, and the other pupils were still walking back into the school. No time had passed at all. "Come on," said Rachel. "I want to enjoy every second of our last day at school together." That afternoon, all the Tippington pupils gathered in the school hall to present their displays. Every class had added different things. Mrs. Best examined all the work and wrote lots of notes on her clipboard. "Mr. Beaker looks as nervous as I feel," said Rachel, seeing the teacher biting his lip. Maya, Dylan, and Zach's model train was on display from the art lesson, along with book reports from the entire class. Rachel and Kirsty had added a picture of a plant from the science lesson. As Mrs. Best was reading some of the book reports, Kirsty looked around and nudged her best friend. "Have you noticed the goblins have gone?" she asked in a low voice. "They must be back in fairyland," said Rachel. "I expect they didn't like our school when they couldn't use their magical badges." At last Mrs. Best reached the end of the display and turned to face the pupils. She looked down at her clipboard and then gave a big smile. "I'm happy to say that I'm very impressed with all of you," she said. "Your teachers are inspiring, your work is superb, and your manners are excellent. I'm delighted to announce that Tippington School is outstanding." Everyone cheered and clapped, even the teachers. Rachel and Kirsty hugged each other. "I wish you were staying here," said Rachel, holding her best friend tightly. "Me too," said Kirsty, feeling a little sad. "It will seem strange to be back in Witherbury School on Monday, but it's been a magical time, hasn't it?" "It's always magical spending time with you," said Rachel, "and I can't wait until our next fairy adventure." The end.